the country where Harvey Oswald lived, and 2 Israeli presidents were born. It's the only country in Europe that has the death penalty. It's not communist, but it uses a Soviet flag. It has no nuclear program, but it has nuclear weapons. It has been ruled by the same dictator since 1994. Welcome to Belarus, Europe's weirdest country. 1. Harvey Oswald worked in a Minsk factory. Oswald defected to the Soviet Union in 1959. He was sent to Minsk, the capital of Belarus. He worked as a lathe operator at the Gorizont Electronics factory. His supervisor was Stanislav Zhushkevich, Belarus's future president. A year later, Oswald wrote in his diary,
"I am starting to reconsider my desire about staying. The work is drab. The money I get has nowhere to be spent. No nightclubs or bowling alleys. No places of recreation, except the trade union dances. I have had enough."
2. Belarus is the birthplace of 2 Israeli presidents. Chaim Weizmann was born in Model in 1874. Shimon Peres was born in Vishneva in 1924. Model was part of the Russian Empire at the time. Vishneva was part of Poland. Both men went on to serve as presidents of Israel. Before World War II, Jews were the 3rd largest ethnic group in Belarus. Some larger cities were more than 50% Jewish. 900,000 Jews were killed during the Holocaust. Today, there are only about 14,000 Jews in Belarus. That's 0.14% of the population. Belarus had the largest number of World War II casualties of all the Soviet republics. Up to a third of the country's population was wiped out. 3. Belarus executes people for nonviolent offenses. It's the only European country that still has the death penalty. Executions are carried out by a shot to the back of the head. Capital punishment used to be reserved for violent crimes. But over the years, crimes against the state were added. Attempted terrorism is now punishable by death. In Belarus, anyone can be accused of terrorism. Even teenagers have been executed. The exact number of executions is unknown. Belarus stopped publishing the stats in 2006. 4. Belarus is like a Soviet theme park. Belarus has only had 2 presidents since its independence in 1991. Alexander Lukashenko, elected in 1994, has never been voted out. He swiftly returned the country to an authoritarian state. Lukashenko brought back the Soviet flag. All Soviet holidays are still officially celebrated. Statues of Lenin are lovingly maintained in every town and village. Belarus briefly had its own red and white flag after 1991. Lukashenko outlawed it. Now people can be arrested for any displays of red and white. In 2021, a man was arrested for keeping a TV box on his balcony. It was a red and white LG box. The cops noticed it from outside and raided his apartment. This is normal in Belarus. There are 1,442 cops per 100,000 civilians in Belarus. 5. Belarus is Russia's closest ally and nuclear repository. It was a staging ground for Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Russian missiles have been fired from Belarusian territory. Russian soldiers were treated in Belarusian hospitals. This loyalty has been rewarded. Russia has moved tactical nuclear warheads to Belarus. Lukashenko says they're meant to deter aggression from Poland. He believes he's the only leader that can protect Belarus. Of course, it has never been invaded since independence. In 2008, a Financial Times reporter remarked,
"Bill Clinton left his post after 2 terms, but you will have held yours twice as long as his 8 years."
Lukashenko replied indignantly,
"Clinton had one situation, and he made his decision. We have another situation. I know that the Queen of England has ruled not for 6 years or 8 years,